Kane is in the building.
Alright, this is how we shake hands here. Alright guys, welcome to the 8th episode of the Get Lifted podcast. Josh is here today.
How's it going, everybody?
We have a special guest, Cody Alt. The Cody Alt.
I'm here.
He's here. We're trying a new mic setup today. I went to Guitar Center to buy a third mic since Cody was going to be on the episode today, and they actually told us that one of the current mics we have that we could all use it to record. So we're going to try that today. Hopefully it doesn't sound
strategic
terrible.
advice is coming from Guitar Center.
Well, I mean, that is what they do. The guy
actually worked.
The guy was like, I've been doing this for years. I have my own setup, and that's what he said.
I know, it actually worked. I was shocked.
So we'll see. If you want to watch this instead of listen to it, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. Just search Brenton Ross on YouTube and go to the Get Lifted podcast. Social, if you want to give your social, people can go find you.
Just at the Cody Alt.
On everything?
Pretty much on everything.
Make sure you get that V in the front.
Yeah, otherwise you're screwed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition with Cody Alt.
Josh
Lopel. Pretty easy.
That thing's blowing up, dude. I checked.
Oh, we're up to 250.
It's blowing up, man. That thing's trending hard.
That's with 1-0.
My personal is Brenton Ross Simmons, and then my fitness is Brenton Ross Fitness on Instagram. And I already told you the YouTube. That's enough of that. Let's jump into this. Today, we're going to let Cody talk a little bit about his background, and then we're going to talk about some of the businesses. He owns his own business. He's a entrepreneur like myself. Josh and I are going to ask him some questions, and really, guys, just talk and talk through what he's doing. So if you just want to jump first and talk a little bit about your background, then we'll just let it flow from there.
Yeah. So I grew up in Montana. My dad was a logger, and I pretty much just grew up turning wrenches and being a grease monkey.
Dude, did you ever tell Dan that? Because Dan's dad is a logger too.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that?
I don't think I did.
So Dan is Cody's roommate.
Yeah.
They didn't know that about each other.
Nope.
Wow,
He is right now.
Right,
So
yeah.
Dan's
We talked a lot.
stepmom actually just called him the other day and asked him to come back home because they're behind to help him chop down more wood so they can haul it off the market.
Oh, currently still is.
Yeah, he is right now.
Oh, okay.
Like, no joke. That's what he does. So that's hilarious. You guys didn't know that. You guys didn't say
So I don't know if he's running chainsaws or whatever, but we had equipment.
Oh.
Like, a lot of equipment.
He had a hand hatchet.
Yeah, he's over there with an axe, like chopping
One at a
firewood.
time, Mom.
Dan's in his Speedo.
Right? Yeah,
Wailing on
his banana hammock.
Sorry. If you guys don't know, Dan is Cody's roommate. He's our friend. You can look him up at Dan Quell Fitness on Instagram. You'll know exactly what we're talking about immediately.
You'll see it. So I grew up, kind of just working on ranches and pretty much grunt work my entire life. And then I dropped out of college. I went to the oil fields for about 6-8 months, worked on an oil rig, absolutely hated my life. From there, I talked my dad into quitting his logging business and moving to North Dakota and starting an oil company with me. And basically we did reclamation for the pads, so every time, when they drill oil and screw everything up, we would go in there, replace the dirt, seed it, grade it, everything like that. And then we got some oil contacts. And then
So you guys are actually oil operators. You're operators for wells.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we had, that's what we initially, to get our foot in the door, we were taking, like we were cutting grass along the roads for these oil companies. And then eventually, we did the reclamation, so we had skid steers and bobcats and digging ditches and everything like that. And just basically had a reclamation crew.
Okay.
And then from there, we transitioned into actually hauling crude.
Okay.
So we bought 8 tankers.
Where was that at? Where in Texas?
No, we started in North Dakota.
Oh, okay.
So,
didn't you end up doing it
yeah,
in Texas? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So we went from North Dakota to Colorado to Texas and then back to Colorado.
Okay.
And that's when I said, "Fuck
Yeah.
this, I'm done."
This was when you were in your teens?
No. So this is from 22 to 27.
Dude, he's like 50.
Yeah.
No, he's 30.
Yeah. 29, bro.
You're 30.
2 weeks.
Count. That's 30.
3-0.
Yeah.
I'm 26, but I give him
I'm
shit all the
26,
time.
yeah. I'm seasoned.
So this was in your young 20s?
Yeah.
What part of Texas?
So like a little bit north of Houston, so Conroe. Well, first we did Wichita Falls, which is like northeast of Dallas.
Okay.
Northwest
Yeah, we
of
did some
Dallas,
stuff in
so-
the Dallas-Fort Worth area,
Yeah.
and then we had some stuff in Midland.
Yep. So I mean, I worked
You were
all-
on the,
I worked all over Texas.
we would buy hire a company to drill the wells, then we would hire an operator, which is what you guys were doing. So I wonder if we ever came close to crossing paths.
Could have. I mean, because I went from like Wichita Falls, literally all over Texas. So I mean, you get one contract, it'll be there for 3 weeks, and you might have to, your next call might be 150 miles away from where you just were.
Okay.
So really big pain in the ass, moving kind of everywhere,
Yeah.
chasing the oil. The market kind of stocks everything. If gas is cheap, you're pretty much fucked.
Really?
Yeah, that's when you have to basically move states. So
Well, that's what happened last year. So basically, when the oil prices dropped and gas prices dropped last year, a lot of the small mom and pop businesses that were counting on, $95 to what point, how high did it get last year? It was like 100 and, I don't know the exact number, I don't want to sound stupid, but they were counting on those high prices, and that's how they were operating. And then when it dropped, they weren't able to operate on those margins anymore. But just like every other thing, the big boys benefited from it, because what happened? They came in and they bought up all those struggling mom and pop businesses for pennies on the dollar, and now when it jumps back up, whenever it ends up happening, they are going to fucking destroy.
yeah, like when I left the oil business and moved back to Arizona to start body fuel, oil was about $37 a barrel. When I started, it was about 110.
Yeah, exactly.
So when gas, like oil companies, when gas is high, when fuel prices are high, that's when oil business is booming.
Yep.
When gas is low, it's shitty.
Yeah, that's what you always say. It's like a bittersweet thing. When gas is $4 a gallon, it's like,
Yeah.
we'll pay it.
Yeah.
Because that means we're making money.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Not anymore. We're not in it anymore, but when we were, that's how it was.
Yep, exactly.
So then you jumped into body. Why were you in Newport? Didn't you live in Newport for a while?
Yeah, so when I had the oil business, I kind of could do whatever I wanted. So I lived in North Dakota, but hated life there. So I would work there for a couple weeks, and then I'd just fly to Newport. And I lived there for 2 years. So the only good thing that came out of an oil business is I had freedom to do whatever I wanted. I could work a month. I could take a month off if I wanted.
That's fucking
So,
nice.
Yeah.
and my dad was my business partner, so we just had a deal. Like, if I had something going on, just one of us had to be there at all times. So when I was there, he could go home, and then when I wanted to leave, he had to be there.
Okay.
Then we just ran
Work
the crew.
hard, play hard.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good gig. Yeah.
So I did that for 5 years, almost 6 years, and it was good when it was good, but I just had enough. I got sick of chasing the oil around the country, and
So this is basically right after when you moved to Arizona. I met you pretty shortly after you got here, right?
yeah. So, but during that span, I lived in Arizona twice too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so
So there's no way we didn't run into each other at Old Town.
We had to.
We were both tearing up Old Town during the same time of life.
Kevin?
Kevin and I, when I lived in Austin, so when I had the oil business, I was in Austin. Yeah, him and I lived together.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out back when I first met you and you guys first met. I was
Dude,
like,
he just signed the lease with me in LA at that place.
no shit?
Yeah.
He lives in LA now?
He's going to, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's crazy. It's such a small world.
Yeah, I
like
know.
how that connects.
I know.
yeah.
Okay.
Damn. So, alright, so you then started Body Fuel as the first one?
Yeah, so I started a meal prep company. I wasn't really sure which direction I wanted to go. All I know is that I was a horrible employee and I couldn't work for anybody.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, just kind of paid my own way. So I started a meal prep company out of my condo kitchen. We built a website, me and my partner, and just started kind of making up recipes. First week I'd cook 6 meals, and then 12 meals, and back to 7 meals, and then 20 meals, and a couple of years later now we're doing a couple thousand a week.
Yep.
So you were doing all the cooking yourself with your
Yeah, so I did for the first
In his apartment.
in my apartment. So I did everything
mad
illegal.
scientist.
I did everything illegally pretty much. I didn't have any health licenses from the health department or anything like that. I just pretty much did whatever I needed to get by to get me to the next level so I could get money, because I didn't have any investors.
Oh.
I didn't have anybody that wanted to invest. I tried. I put business plans together.
Dude, I can
Nobody wanted
attest that
any of our-
firsthand. It was like even just down from equipment to equipment. It was okay. Now I need this commercial fridge. That's I found a great deal on. It's $800. Like I got to figure out how to pull together that 800. And then he'd do that. And then he'd get a little further and he's okay. Now I got to get a commercial kitchen and it's X amount of dollars. Now I got to do that.
How long did you cook on your own before you stepped up
Probably
or got help?
Probably for the first. Well, I luckily had a good friend that was a chef, but he had a job working at another restaurant. He was super flaky, so there was a lot of times where I would be in the kitchen by myself. Like the most I ever cooked in my condo kitchen before I decided I need to step up to get a commercial kitchen so I had more space was about 280 meals.
Oh my god.
Shit.
It took me about 16 hours.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I fucking hate cooking.
Yeah.
Like this isn't not.
You just gotta pump it out.
Yeah, like
bulk.
this is. I mean, the thing is though, you got a stove at home. You can only cook so much rice, and so I'm cooking like batches of rice. And I can only put so many. 2 trays of chicken in an oven at a time.
I was gonna say,
when you got to cook 20 pounds.
Where are you storing all the you had
Fridge. So there was no food for me to actually eat in my own fridge. I would do that, and then I would get coolers and put dry ice with the meals in the coolers until I'd had to deliver them to the next day.
Dude, my question is, and I know the answer, but I think it's a good question to ask so other people can know why Body Fuel. Why start a meal prep company? What made you want to do that?
I think just because I was, really into health and fitness my entire life, and I was just trying to figure out a way to get into that industry.
Yeah.
And when I first started it, I wanted to have the meal prep company, and then I wanted full supplements and protein and everything. I wanted pretty much a complete line, so people would come get a diet,
one-stop shop.
meals, and supplements. And that just kind of veered off track as I got busier and busier with other companies.
And then you did your retail store.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you lived at.
Yeah. So 3.5 months in, I opened a retail store, and hindsight looking back.
Yeah,
because
it goes back and forth. So basically, what happened is he comes to me and he's like, "Brandon, I want to do this retail store." I was like, "Don't, do not do it."
We're talking where you actually had a storefront for people can walk up.
Yeah, he has it
I
right
still
now
have it today.
in Old Town. So, and I was like, dude, you're gonna be living at that place. It's gonna be so much bullshit you have to deal with. And he's like, no, I want to do it. I was like, all right. So then he does it, and he ends up having to be there like 14, 15 hours a day minimum.
So I didn't have any employees there, and I couldn't afford to pay any employees because I just had to make my wage, right? So every day, man, from first when I opened the store, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single day for the first 2 months.
Was it setting the time aside? Was it paying dividends?
It was good. Yeah, it was fun. People were coming through. I was getting a lot of exposure. Everybody knows what Body Fuel is now.
In the area.
In the area, I should say. And people come in, if they Google meal prep, whatever, Body Fuel is number one ahead of everybody.
Nice.
So that there is some benefits to that. It was just, I never opened a retail store before. I really didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
How did you get your awareness out?
Social media.
Yeah.
Marketing. Yeah.
Dude, what I respected though is you weren't willing. You were willing to do the shit that no one else wanted to do. I was seeing your flyers. At
I
chiropractor. I run into his fucking flyers all over the place.
Yeah.
And his ass would get out there and pass them out himself.
Yeah, one time I went to Gainey Village in North Scottsdale, or Doubletree or whatever there.
Yeah.
Super nice, private place.
Yeah.
It was Saturday or Sunday morning. I had a stack of flyers, and I was walking out and I was taping them on all the windows.
Yep.
And this isn't like November or something. Yeah. Dude, and it was the most humbling thing ever. It was. I was like...
Been there, done that. Because I put a hoodie up.
Yeah.
Dude,
when I was in the oil business, I was making a lot of money. And you go from that to... I pretty much went rock bottom. I had nothing, pretty much.
Yeah, you work your way back up.
Pretty much, yeah. And so, handing out flyers, and that day, a couple hours later, I got an email, because my email is, on the flyers, for orders and stuff. And he's like, yeah, this is a private area, private property, can you tell your staff not to put any more flyers on our windows,
Yeah, I'm sure to let them know.
I emailed back, I was like, okay, I'll get with my crew and let everybody know.
I passed out free supplement samples at Lifetime Fitness parking lot with a hoodie on, pulled up.
What was this?
Going from window to window, putting them on the window with my information on there.
When was this?
2 years ago.
In Kansas?
And my training program. No, that was here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
Yep.
I did not like that, but you do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So I needed that, and so I was making money from Body Fuel, and then I was actually bartending at night.
Really?
Old Town or?
Tempe.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That was when Canteen was still there, right?
It was some country bar, so I did
Oh, that's right.
Whiskey Row?
No, Gringo Star. I bartended there, and then
did you know
the other
Sperry?
country bar. Yeah.
He lives in my building now.
Citrine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Why do you guys have so many mutual friends?
Sperry used to run that bar.
Shelby's best friend, Sperry's girlfriend. They dated for 4 years.
Oh.
So they're best friends.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's the train.
Yeah, I like that place.
That's nice.
Yeah. I understand how you have to get 3 key cards to actually get in.
Yeah, that's a little fucked up. So you were bartending.
Yeah, so
Supplementary to-
I was literally just trying to do whatever it took to, because I had to pay for that retail store, and I had to gut the whole thing too. Like it only had like 8-foot ceilings, so I had to take all that out, and then I pretty much gutted the entire thing, ripped the floors out, had to put new AC in, and then just the fridges, the equipment, the sinks, the grease trap, the permits. Like I was literally, the money that I made that week was going all back into like health department and fees and everything like that. My current apartment that I was living in, well, I was living at the Optima, which is condos. When I moved in, I had money stacked up, but $2,500 a month eats away real fast for rent. You know what I mean?
It does.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have that much coming in. I had money coming in, but I was allocating that to try to grow the business.
Absolutely.
So I pretty much just mentally prepared myself that I was going to get kicked out. I pretty much took a choice. So it was open the retail store or pretty much pay rent. And I
Open the store.
I decided to open the store.
Dude, I remember when we were on the phone talking about this and you told me that. I was actually, when you're going down Scottsdale Road and you can bypass it by going the back way on that drink water, behind the Optima.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with you driving right there and you're like, I can either pay rent or open the retail store. I was like, I'm not going to say either way. It's up to you. And you're like, I'm opening the store.
I like that.
I was like, my man. And I'm driving by the place and I was like, probably gonna throw him off that balcony. All this shit.
You can string them along for a couple months.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. There's no leasing office. It's privately owned. So
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You string them along.
Yeah, so I'm dealing with the owner, and trying to promise him that I'm going to pay and everything, and I just pretty much accepted that I was going to get kicked out,
Evicted, yeah.
and I was going to sleep in the store on a cot and then I was just going to shower in the gym every morning.
My dad did that. He slept in his gas station.
Did you end up doing it, or did
Nope,
it end
no.
up playing out?
It played out.
Yeah, nice.
Well, you got that Airbnb that was like a ridiculous deal. That
Yeah.
baseball player.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had I put my place up for Airbnb, and the Optima is super nice. Like it's a luxurious place, and a baseball player came in and needed a place during spring training for his family, and this was right kind of hand in hand right when I wanted to open the store, and I made $8,000
Yep.
by letting him stay there for
So you subleased.
5 weeks.
So basically, he fucking financed his store by subleasing his apartment to a baseball player.
Yeah.
Did you up the price?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah. He charged him
Absolutely.
$10,000.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah. Wrote me a check, and then that's pretty much how I helped.
Dude,
like
That's
See, that's
right
why-
time, right place.
This is why I wanted him on here, is because like he doing stuff like that, you just learn that you got to do whatever it takes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like there's no people think in their head, oh, they see this successful person, they had an idea and they started to do something and it was like this clear cut, like smooth path. Hell no. Like it's rarely
There's no ladder.
ever-
There's
it's
no
rarely
actual ladder
ever.
to climb. You gotta jump ladders.
Exactly.
You gotta build ladders.
It's never like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I figured.
even right now, you're experiencing it firsthand. I was supposed to launch today. Did we launch today? No. We got to wait another week because of something that happened that's completely out of my control.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna do it. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work this week, and we'll launch next
Yeah,
Saturday.
just like this.
God, dude, I
It's
know.
a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're going forward and taking on the tasks that you need to do each day, the setbacks won't be as bad as.
What's
you
your
step forward.
before I talk about mine? What's your little system for like keeping your how you handle each day? Do you have like a power list, or how do you handle that?
So I pretty much.
That's good for some people because people ask us, even some of our other friends ask us like, how do you guys get so much shit done? How do you organize yourself? What's your little tips?
So you see me, like I have my OCD is so bad.
Yeah.
Like I have a case for just my chargers.
So I asked him for a charger, and he's like, "Yeah, I got you, bro." I opened it up, and there was no. It was literally, yeah, he has it.
I think I know.
Like someone opens like their suit pocket, and they got
Yes.
like 9 different watches and like a full
all
variety.
full
That's what
I
his
think I left.
That's
it
what his
out.
charger thing is. You open it up and he's got like 5 different colors, 4 different attachment heads, like all these
Well,
things.
dude,
I'm like, well, I can charge everything I own now. So thank you.
I have literally every dongle under the sun. Like that's what I do for a living. I have to present with every little,
Yeah.
like every. Oh, you got this.
You're the
VGA,
king of the
RGA?
dongles.
I got the
I'll
dongle.
start calling it
baby.
King Dongle.
Yeah.
Josh King Dongle.
I like that. I'll go with that.
All right, so then body fuel started to do better.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I think what actually helps me actually get so much shit done in a day is before I go to sleep or when I'm home at night, before I actually, go to bed, I think of the first things that I have to get done tomorrow. So 3 to 5 things that no matter what happens have to get done.
Yep.
And I end up probably doing 8 to 10 things, but no matter what, those 3 to 5 things have to be done. And I just have a routine in the morning. Like I always wake up early. I don't even need an alarm.
Yep.
And you normally do cardio and stuff in the morning, and then it's just natural. I just immediately get it done.
Dude, if I don't set my little power list and I wake up the next morning and I haven't done it, which I don't do, but if I were to do that, I feel lost.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, now I gotta sit down and spend time figuring out what I'm gonna do today instead of basically just having it queued up, knowing exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
And I just wake up, pop up out of bed, and go do it.
Yep. So, I mean, there's those 3 to 5 things that I know, and then I have a to-do list that it's pretty much like a working document. If I'm randomly driving across town, I'll remember to do something, I'll put that in the list. So.
What do you use notes on iPhone?
Yep.
Is that what you
Same.
use? Same here. And it syncs to your computer, so then when you get on your computer, now when you open it on your app and it pops up on there, that's so badass.
I have literally, I made my own note for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I have the running, this is just...
People, if you aren't picking up yet, organization is key.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's some people that can operate when they're just all over the place, but oh my god, I don't know how people do that. It's got to be, you got to know what you're doing, when you're doing it, and it's just, once you have enough stuff going on though, I feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise you just start forgetting things, and it's not even necessarily like you'll blow off a meeting or forget a phone call because you're being an asshole. It's just because you legitimately forgot, and I don't I make sure that doesn't
I still
happen.
consider it organized chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, I do forget a lot of, not saying, I don't miss, important meetings ever, but there's a lot of shit, meeting my accountant that slips my mind all the time. And it's just because I'm getting, as time goes on, I'm having more and more things go on. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting dumber. It's not. I'm just...
Yeah.
You got too much shit.
I just have so much shit going
I'm glad you missed a meeting with your accountant. We have the same accountant, and she missed my meeting the other day, and I was pissed, so at least he got her back.
You guys share anything else?
We have the same accountant. What kind of question is that? Next.
Alright, so we're talking Body Fuel, but you got a few other companies. What was the next one you started?
Where is Body Fuel at right now?
So Body Fuel right now, we have 2 retail locations, one in Old Town and then one 28th and Thomas. And that one actually has capabilities to be a drive-through, and that's where the kitchen's actually located.
Are you guys going to do a drive-through?
I'm thinking about it, yeah. So once we're going to revamp the menu, and then right now the meals only last, about 7 days. So working on getting a vacuum sealer, redoing the menu, and then the meals will last 30 days.
Wow.
So
that would be insane to
that's
quadruple your shelf life.
Yeah, that is insane.
because it's really frustrating. If the chefs have a bad day or, it's food. You're not going to go somewhere once. If it's shitty, you're never coming back.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
It needs to be.
I'm that way. You're that way. Everybody's
Absolutely.
that way. I don't blame them either.
Yeah.
If they have a shitty meal, I don't.
Aren't you thinking about not shipping anymore? And just
So we did shut off. I was doing nationwide shipping for a long time, and the summer it just kills. So many meals go bad, or if they, we started putting shipping trackers on, so when they get to somebody's house, I can see what time it is. So when they email me the next day, like, oh yeah, my meals are hot. It's because you fucking left them out all afternoon.
Yep.
So it's just tough, but then obviously they're right, so I have to refund them.
Yeah.
So
Customer's always right.
Yeah. So that sucks, but it's just something that you have to do.
So now he is also in the CBD market and also in the marijuana delivery market. They're 2 different companies. You want to talk about those a little bit, and then we'll kind of talk about those subjects.
Yeah. So I have a CBD company. A lot of people think that it is marijuana. It's illegal. It's not. Legally, if your product has 0.03% less THC in it, then you can ship worldwide.
Or less, you mean?
Yeah, 0.03% or less
below. Yeah.
THC.
Yeah.
You can ship nationwide.
50 states.
Yep. No, worldwide.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, we ship to Australia. Not a lot, but we've had multiple customers.
And it's not bad because they're small, so
Yeah,
the
they're
shipping's
tiny,
not
they're
going to be
just
terrible.
like ounces, yeah.
See, with us, if we ship an 8-pound supplement shipment to Australia, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
That's why they got it. So what I do you do calculated shipping for them? Or do you have set your shipping rates?
It's free shipping. We have free shipping.
Oh, you
for
do?
everything.
Okay, so we set I wish I could do that. We have it set up so if one of our athletes or ambassadors, someone uses their code, they get free shipping. But if some just random person comes to the site, yours automatically get free shipping?
Yeah.
Always?
Yep, no matter what.
Okay, so with ours, now if they don't use that code, it's real-time calculated shipping rates.
Yeah.
So that way our customers can see that we're not making a margin. Because a lot of companies make margins off their shipping and set their own shipping rates, especially as they get big and do a bunch of volume and their shipping gets really cheap. Then they start making money off their shipping, and we're not doing that. Because I want them to see, hey, if you are in Australia and you want this and it's going to cost you $34 to ship it, that we're not really upselling you or overcharging you. That's exactly what it costs. You know, we want those customers.
Yeah.
It's cool to get global awareness and stuff like that. We actually have a couple ambassadors that I signed. We're sending their paperwork right now. That are one's in Australia, the other one's in somewhere in Eastern Europe, and then we got somebody in South America. There are some countries you have to be careful of that, like Shopify and stuff, but they won't let you do business with. But it's, you know, having somebody over there through social media marketing and stuff like that, the way that's opened up the global market is just insane.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yep.
Australia is a huge market for the fitness market right now.
Yeah, it's massive. Very
Doesn't
much.
shock me at all.
Yeah.
So that's one thing with CBD too. I just sponsored Jenna Breslin,
Okay.
actually, in the fitness industry. CBD is going to be massive in the fitness industry.
I agree.
Massive.
Agreed.
Because it's not THC. You don't get high from it. So it's almost like a natural hemp remedy. So stress, anxiety, helps kids with epilepsy, dogs with anxiety and stress.
What about like muscle soreness?
Yeah, muscle soreness. We have topical that helps with muscle soreness, chronic pain, arthritis.
Yeah.
My business partner, his grandma was dying of an autoimmune disease, and they put her on chemo pills and everything like that, and she was regressing really bad. And so we sent her some of our 1,000 milligram CBD oil, and a week and a half later, she was making record recovery.
Holy shit.
So I mean, I get messages every day, Instagram, Facebook, about how, they wouldn't have been able to make it through chemo, or how much it's actually helped them.
Yeah.
And like some lady called me today. Her grandma is using so much of the topical because it's helping her. She asked if she could order 20 a month if I'd give it to her wholesale. And I said, yeah, sure,
Absolutely.
of course. If it's going to help, absolutely.
My mom's, you know about this, my mom
Yeah.
has terminal cancer, and I think we've got 3 orders of it now. She's increased her energy levels since she's taken it. So
Really?
she's not, yeah.
Awesome.
Energy-wise, she's like a lot more fuller, like up and about.
Yeah.
So
How's it
it's
help
working.
with pain too? Does it help with pain?
So she's not in that much pain. She's just, she's got cancer in the brain, lungs, shoulder. So it's actually, we're so past the point of no return.
Yeah.
If anything good happens, fucking A+.
Yeah.
So energy,
Just 'cause improving quality of life.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's sort of what we're looking at. But
Yeah.
the energy, she was sleeping a lot. She was like in and out. She started taking it, and we take her to Sedona. We've taken she wants to get out. And
So is
do
there
stuff.
different kinds of CBD strains that are, some make you sleepy, some give you energy just like marijuana?
So no, there's not, but there is different types of CBD. So there's full spectrum CBD. So 1,000 milligram of just CBD isn't as powerful as full spectrum CBD. So a 14 milligram full spectrum, because you have CBD, CBA, CBN, CBT. So you have all the cannabinoids working together, which is actually way more beneficial than just the CBD. So CBD is just basically the pure isolate.
Okay.
So still very beneficial.
See, that's why I want to talk about this.
Still very
because
beneficial.
so many people don't know anything about it still.
Yeah.
It's something that's really starting to really trend on the market right now. And it's negatively stereotyped as drugs. They think it's weed because it's cannabinoid.
Yeah.
People don't know the difference. And what's difficult to talk about the business side of it is there are CBDs that have THC in them.
Yeah.
And that's what your mom was taking at first, right?
She was
And she
taking
didn't
that
like it because it would
first.
make her high.
Yeah.
But
She's taking humongous doses.
what makes it difficult is because THC is still federally illegal, that there has to be independent tests done for every single batch to show that the THC levels are below 0.03. 0.3 or 0.03?
0.03.
0.03, yeah, that would be really high. 0.3 would be ripped.
Yeah, we just switched to a new manufacturer, so we are going to have full spectrum, and it's actually going to be cold pressed too. So all the CBD right now isn't cold pressed, but it is about to be. So it's going to make it even more pure, last longer, and the cannabinoids will actually work better together.
Wow,
Let me
that's
know
awesome.
when you plan on adding that.
So we just finally got a fulfillment center last week, so now we'll start manufacturing with our new manufacturer here in Arizona in the next couple days actually.
Nice.
I would say for sure by the end of next week.
Okay.
We'll start doing dog treats, sunscreen, lipstick.
Oh,
chapstick, all that stuff.
Okay. Cool.
And then we'll do CBD vapes as well. So a lot of people, just because there's just different ways people like to apply it.
Athletes use it for.
We have
recovery.
gummies too.
Do because I know athletes are starting to pick this stuff up. Is it mainly for recovery, or is it to essentially enhance their abilities?
So there's nothing that's going to enhance.
It's going to be performance enhancing.
Yes, there's no performance enhancing. I'm sure the NFLPA probably has rules that you can't take it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. I mean, there's some fucking Gatorades and sports drinks you can't even.
There was actually
because Yellow 5, I think Yellow 5's like on the banned list.
That's on their banned list.
I think so, which is just retarded. So you drink a Mountain Dew, you're fucked.
that show Ballers on HBO.
Yeah.
It was just on last week's episode
Hint,
that
hint,
one of the
hint.
players owned.
Yeah.
He invested in a CBD company, and he got like a 4-game suspension because of that.
Is this in the show?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's trending.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he was even on that show it is really trending right now. Yeah. So all right, on the other side,
So on the other side,
there's Cuishle.
there's Cuishle.
That Cush.
Which is there's a lot of THC there.
Yeah.
Cuishle.
Yeah. So Cuishle is, I spent the last, I launched the company December 13th of last year. So I spent the last, 9.5, almost 10 months on the software development. It's pretty much the closest thing to Postmates or Uber for marijuana. Pretty much when you go on there, you'll create your profile. And once your profile is approved by us, make sure, depending on which state, so each state has different regulations, but let's just assume it's Arizona since we're here. If you have a medical card, you can be 18 and over to create a profile. And once you submit it, upload your medical card, upload your ID, and then we'll send it in, make sure you say who you are, and you'll create a 4-digit PIN. From there, you'll be able to order. So you'll be able to choose which dispensary you want bud from. So say, if you want some edibles, and a vape pen or something. From there, you just press send, and it will geo-target my driver that's closest to the dispensary. It'll pop up on his phone, and he'll accept that order. And on there, it'll say James ordered, some edibles and a vape pen, when he ordered it, how much he ordered, what dispensary he ordered it from, and then it'll give the customer real-time traffic, how long it's going to take for my driver to get where he is to the dispensary to his house.
Now they still have to pay cash when you get there, right?
Depending on which dispensary I'm working with. So, Reef is their only cash, but a couple other dispensaries do actually take
So
cards.
would you piggyback off theirs? How would that
Yeah,
work? Okay.
yeah. So I'll use their banking relationship.
Okay.
And I have
Because
a
like I
couple,
said earlier, a lot of banks they will not touch it.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how many drivers do you have employed?
So right now, I kind of switched the business model a little bit. So I pivoted kind of what I wanted to do because regulations change all the time. So what I'm doing now is in all 3 states that I want to operate in immediately in the next 90 days is Arizona, Nevada, and California.
Okay.
I'm buying gummy machines and I'm going to make my own edibles and then put them on the platform and sell my own product.
Oh, that's smart.
So
I like that.
Why not go ahead and start doing what you were going to do so you're grabbing market share, building familiarity with your delivery service, and then launch your product?
So I am going to do that. Arizona, so there's a couple dispensaries that I'm going to start with hopefully by the end of the week.
Okay.
And it's going to take a little bit of time of uploading their product and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll actually just use their drivers. One thing that sucks about Arizona is for every driver you have, so say if I'm partnered with 5 dispensaries and Josh is my driver, you have to have a DA card for each dispensary you're partnered with per driver.
Wow.
So if I'm partnered with 5 dispensaries, I have to pay $2,500 in DA cards just for you
Wow.
and hope you stick around.
I was gonna say you can't just start building this Uber service for weed because there's got to be
Man,
so many.
and the drivers are going to know that,
Damn.
and they're going to use that as leverage too.
So that sucks.
Yeah.
So, but with this first one, I'm actually using their employees that already have DA cards, so
Okay.
I cut my money out.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yep.
I mean, that's still profitable because the profitable concept in my head because there's so many people. I mean, I used to live in New York.
Mhm.
Delivery is now the expectation.
Yeah.
Whereas, in LA, people don't want to deal with traffic. They don't want to deal with going out.
Yep.
That's going to start moving into the expectation. I'm
Mhm.
sure. I don't know how
Yeah.
much competition there is right now for
And there is. What I think is going to be a little bit different than me is a lot of these companies they're trying to make money on the delivery fees. I don't want to do that. I want to make money off selling my own product, and then have cheaper delivery fees.
So basically, it's a wash.
That's smart.
It's a loss leader.
Yeah. So there's definitely companies out there that are doing it. I don't think they're doing it right, but and some of them have a lot of press and making a lot of noise, but we'll see.
Well, I just wanted him to go through his background so people can understand what he's doing, how he got started. Now that they know, where you started, a little bit of how you got. Obviously, there's so much more that went on behind the scenes and things you have to deal with. But now, being at this point, what would you say it is that drives you? What pushes you? Because all the days, like we talk about, where the bad shit happens, you're in a position where it's like, I might get kicked out of my apartment, or I'm gonna launch this store. What is it there that pushes you to make your decision?
I think probably the people that I surround myself with. I don't surround myself with losers. So everybody's ambitious. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hang out with people that are home playing video games 8 hours a day. Everybody's doing shit, and I have to keep the pace.
So it's competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a very, very competitive person, and it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not even competing against my friends or anything like that. Like, I want us all to do good, obviously, but I want whatever I'm building, I focus on that, and I want to be the best at me building that.
What about the days? Because I've been there for a lot of them, and we've been there. We've both been at the same time when shit hits the fan. Everything you're working on sounds like it might be ready to disappear in a day's amount of time that you've been working on for 10 months. For me, competition, what everybody else is doing at that point, just doesn't fucking matter anymore.
No.
What is it that keeps you going at that point?
I think I struggled with that for like a long time. Like, I would get beaten down to like where I wouldn't even get out of bed. Like, the next day, no lie, I would lay in bed till noon. Like, what the fuck, And then I think as time's passed and getting kicked in the nuts enough, I've just learned to accept that that's going to happen, and I can only, no matter what happens, you can always control how you react to it. Yeah. So I think, like stepping back, because I get pissed. I'm a hothead. Something bad happens, I'm fucking mad, but I get over things quicker, I think, now than I did like in the beginning.
Yeah, you do. So I've seen it. I've seen those at those time periods when you would let it get to you, and you would get like, dude, I haven't got out of bed yet. No. Like, you got to get your ass up and go fucking fight. And then I've seen it over the last 3 or 4 months how much it's been pretty drastic, honestly. Yeah. I respect you for that. The way he handles that stuff now. It is what it is.
I think a boiling question that a lot of people may be thinking while they listen to this is, you got 3 and actually a couple other businesses. How do you do all that in one 24-hour period of every day? Like,
we just talked about this earlier today before we came over here.
Super, super easy question for me. So you gotta not try to do everything yourself. You gotta realize what you're really good at, and you gotta be good at judging talent and pretty much delegating, reading people. Like, is this guy gonna be a piece of shit, or is he gonna be good for the job?
Yeah.
So I'm really good at hiring people that are really good at what they do. I know what I want done, and I could do it myself, but it'll take me a lot longer than if I just hired somebody that does it every day.
Exactly. A big mistake that a lot of people make is they get scared of hiring people who they think are more talented than them because they think it's going to be threatening to them. And that is the dumbest thing you can do. Hiring someone who's smarter than you
just makes me look better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My dad, he did not go to college. He barely finished high school. He was smart, but his story we talked about in the first episode. If you want to hear it, go back and listen. But he never ended up going to college at all. And we're talking, 20 years down the road, net worth of hundreds of millions of dollars. He was going to a bank and he was getting ready to purchase another refinery, and they were going to loan him like $100 million to buy this thing. Okay. And they're getting ready to sign the papers. They've already gone through everything. The deal's basically done, and they're sitting around a boardroom table. It's probably twice the size of this glass table. And he's got his accountant there. He's got 3 of his lawyers there. He's got a few of his other employees there, and then all the bank employees are there. Okay. And the guy says, he looks up and he goes, "Jerry, where'd you go to college?" My dad's like, "Actually, I never went to college." And the guy drops his fucking pen and goes, "I'm about to give you $100 million, and you didn't even go to college?" And my dad sits back and he goes, "See all these people on my team that work for me?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "They all went to college. He went to Harvard. He went to Harvard. He went to Yale. He went to Princeton. there's all your college degrees for you. Let's do the damn deal. And the guy signed the papers, and that was it.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of old school people that operate on piece of paper or not. I mean, as our, what was it, second, third episode?
Yeah.
It can be pointless. It can be useful. At the end of the day, it's the human.
Like, if you want one business and you want to be successful and you want to do everything else, or to do everything yourself, great, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's
You're
definitely...
You can definitely do it. But if you want to have multiple things going on, multiple companies going on, and a million different things going on at once, you have to have a team of people that you're good at.
And it's also directly correlated to your financial position.
Right.
Like, a lot of times you can't afford to hire or delegate. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how I was with Body Fuel. That's why I was the cook, the chef, the delivery driver, the labeler,
wear the hats.
fucking,
Wear
I
all the
shopped.
hats.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think the most successful people, they find the balance. So it's like operating your business as if you didn't have a bunch of financial cushion. So doing things where you step in and do it yourself, but then at the same time not overwhelming yourself. So it's like you're in this balance of you're not overspending, but you're not overcommitting yourself, and you're delegating to the point, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like there's this happy median there where you're not just blowing cash and doing shit because you're not doing shit because you're lazy and want someone else to do it, but it's because it makes more fiscal sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're ever skeptical about doing anything, like there's some marketing stuff, you know, people are like, oh, you know, I don't know if I want to spend this $100. Well, you know, if you run the numbers, you know, like conversion rates and stuff like that, your website, you could make 200. Okay, well, worst case scenario, you lose 100, you quit,
Yeah.
you move on to the next thing.
And it's definitely important to do, even if you have a bunch of money, in my opinion.
always gotta test.
I think it's really smart to do as much of it yourself up front so you know your business from the ground up. Because
Absolutely.
that keeps other people from being able to take advantage of you. There's, oh, I need this website built. Okay, that's 10 grand. Bullshit, I could build this Shopify website in a week and a half myself, you know, and not pay 10 grand. Or, you know, I need to have these videos made. You know, there's just different things, designing, like, it just depends on your business, but learning your business from the ground up, how to do things. Obviously, there's things you're going to have to outsource, but as much as you can learn how to do yourself, it helps you control it so much better.
And at the end of the day, you can use a majority of all of like your contacts that you have hired for things for your next business and the business after that. So if you have a really good video guy, you can use them for every single one of your businesses.
Yeah.
You know
Like,
what I mean?
even for me,
Doesn't matter.
when we go live on our first, even though I have people to fulfill our orders, I'm going to personally fulfill all of our first orders because I want to put the best and most streamlined system in place, and I'll know exactly what it takes, how long it takes, and now I know how much time I need to hire out for other people to do the fulfillment for me.
Absolutely.
I want to understand
You
it
can't
inside
make
and out.
decisions on your business if you don't know your business.
Yeah,
And that's my
exactly.
opinion.
Yeah. So some people might say, Brandon, you're wasting your time, but I completely disagree. I think learning your business from the inside out is, I don't think there's any way around it.
Yeah, because then you know if you have 100 orders going out, you know exactly how long it should take.
Yeah, and if it takes way longer than that, then you know the guy's not busting his ass and you find somebody else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's pretty simple. I'm trying to think of what else to ask you about your businesses. I feel like you've covered that. I just want to talk more about, you know, giving people, you know, the insight that they need if they want to follow that same type of path. If you were going to give someone advice, because you started businesses with no funding, if you were going to give someone advice that want to do the same thing, because it actually is, I feel it's more of a rarity for people to start with funding now than it is to start, you know, from the ground up with no money. I feel like that's more common. So if you're going to tell somebody that's listening to that right now or watching this, and they were going to start a business from the ground up, what would you tell them?
I would probably say, you know, don't do it like me and just jump all in. Obviously, my back was against the wall.
Because that goes into what we talked about last time. Remember about pressure?
Yeah.
So it's like some people, they either respond to pressure or they cave. He responds.
Yeah.
There were days you caved, you admit it, but overall you respond.
Right.
A lot
Those
of
days
people,
that I did step back, then you know I was always stepping further forward.
Yeah, but like he just said, there's some people, they jump right into it. You're gonna get caught on fire, and that's it.
Yeah.
No one's ever put it out. You're done.
So like I just know me. Like if I had a day job and I was gonna try to start Body Fuel, it would have failed. 100%. I know it would have. So that's just how I am. So it's kind of knowing kind of that person you are. But if you are that person that you do need to keep your day job and you're a little bit scared, then I would say, you know, do your day job, whatever the hours are, and do a minimum one task to the business that you want to start per day. That's 365 tasks that you get done in a year. That's a shitload of stuff towards building a business.
Yeah, get started. So many people, they say, okay, I have this great idea and I'm going to do this when this, and this happen.
Yeah, can't wait.
Most likely this, and this are never going to happen.
you have to actually do this.
Just do the little, start doing designs, order samples
Yeah.
in. Like, just take the first little steps in initiative, and then what
Walk
you
into
build
a
on.
competitor.
You build on
Yeah.
it. You build on it.
I think at least myself, it takes a couple accomplishments to get the ball rolling to convince myself I actually did 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Meaning, like, if I had the idea and then I need to execute on it, I need to get to 3 before I've told myself I'm actually doing this.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3, 5 steps are probably the hardest.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you haven't convinced yourself I'm actually doing this.
Yeah.
It's not like a real thing.
Dude, my biggest advice for someone that's starting their own business and is in that situation is have the right mindset going into it.
Yeah.
Know that you're not going to make $1 million or even $1,000 overnight. It's going to take time, and celebrate the little things. Celebrate the victories. Don't let the losses destroy you. Learn from them and enjoy the journey. You know, it's not, you're not going to just enjoy it when you get a certain amount of money. That's not where the enjoyment comes from. The enjoyment is the progress.
Yeah.
And progress can be as simple as you just finalized a design. It's like, well, why are you celebrating? You didn't make any money off of it. But hey, this is a big deal.
One step closer.
You know, we're getting there. This is progress. This is something I feel good about. I didn't get into this just to make $1 million. You know, I got into this because I believe in this product, or I believe in this service or this brand. And I'm going to be happy along the way because it's progressing with each day. And I know that because I'm not sitting on my ass playing video games. I'm not sulking when I lose. I'm a fighter, and I'm going to end up being a winner because I'm not going to give up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think that's been a really good way to wrap up.
Yeah. We'll have him come back again in the future. You probably have 3 more businesses open by that time. I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to say? Do you have anything you want to say to wrap it up?
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said earlier, it's also available on YouTube. Please subscribe to the podcast. It's pretty cool. When you subscribe to a podcast, it automatically downloads it and then gives you a notification on your phone that a new episode has come out, and then you can listen to it right there. So give us a like, and we'd also really appreciate a review. A good review. If you have a bad review, don't leave a review. All right, guys, we'll pick you up the next one. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.